Logic and Critical Thinking by Maureen H. Salmon. Well, Salmon. I wonder how she pronounces it. All right. This is a different one, a different kind of book. A lot of it might not make any sense. Chapter 1 is the introduction to arguments, 2, deductive arguments, inductive arguments, and fallacies. Chapter 3, a closer look at inductive arguments. Chapter 4, casual arguments. 5, probabilities and inductive logic. 6, deductive reasoning, conditional arguments. Confirmation of hypothesis is number 7. 8, arguments in which validity depends on connecting among sentences. How many chapters are in this? So there's 11 chapters. Ooh. Chapter 9 is categorical syllogisms. I don't know what that is. Syllogisms. Arguments in which validity depends on relationships. Paying special attention to the language of arguments. I like that. So far, it looks like that's the one we're going to be going with. No, we might as well, because I'm still kind of confused on what they're talking about right here. So we're going to go ahead and do arguments and recognizing arguments. This is chapter 1. Arguments. Evidence. Let's just see. Let me just try to snip it. I don't want to read the whole thing to you because it looks kind of long and boring. Okay. Verbal evidence. Okay, in this text, we'll be more concerned with verbal evidence than with physical evidence. Verbal evidence may be oral or written and can include descriptions of physical evidence since descriptions are formulated in words. Okay, here we go. Here's their definition of an argument. A set of sentences consisting of an assertion or assertion to be supported and a verbal evidence for the assertion is called an argument. When we support sentences and offering verbal evidence for them, we are arguing for those sentences. The terms argument and arguing are frequently used in a different way. Argument to refer to a dispute or disagreement, and arguing to refer to the activity of engaging in verbal disagreement. The two ways of using the terms, while different, are not entirely unrelated. Okay. All right, look at this. So we have a couple different things. We have logic. Logic is the field of study concerned with analyzing arguments and appraising their correctness or incorrectness. The logic, basically the person that studies logic, logician, is interested in discovering and starting general principles by which to decide whether the alleged evidence in an argument would, if it were true, support some assertion. Thus, logic is an important part of critical thinking. Now, in the study of arguments, there's also different parts. The sentences that assert the evidence are called premises, and the sentence that is being argued for is called the conclusion. An argument can have any number of premises, but by definition, it can only have one conclusion. That was kind of a lot. We're still on the first page. We didn't make it very far in this, but it's actually pretty interesting. Man, this is, what year was this? This was 1984, 89. And listen to this. This is where I'm bringing it up. I just swear, I just turned the page. Consider the following argument given by opponents of the legalization of marijuana. So they've been arguing about this for quite some time. Marijuana should not be legalized because it is potentially dangerous and not enough is known about the long-term effects, and because use of marijuana leads to use of hard drugs. That's an argument. Okay, even though this argument is stated in a single sentence, we can divide that sentence into parts that are themselves sentences and that stand in a relationship of premise and conclusion. The conclusion of this argument is that the declarative sentence, marijuana should be legalized. The three assertions conjoined in a compound declarative sentence that serves as premises are: it is potentially dangerous, not enough is known about the long-term effects, and use of marijuana leads into use of marijuana leads to harder drugs. Each of these component sentences is an assertion, the truth of which can be questioned. For this argument to establish the truth of its conclusion, all these premises must be true, and together they must provide reason for accepting the conclusion. All right, that's not bad. This, if you want to learn how to argue, this will teach you how to argue in a very strategic way. So negotiation with business would probably be the same. This logic and critical thinking in business is going to be imperative. So, decent book.